This cake is haunting. Hey everyone, it's Anna, and I'm back with another vintage cookbook. Today I'm going to be reviewing Betty Crocker's cookbook for boys and girls. This is a cookbook of my childhood. I have talked about this cookbook several times. I've never reviewed it, and I thought today is the day. There's a very special recipe in here that I want to make. This cookbook was published in 1975, and it is the one I remember the most growing up. This is probably what I would say is one of the cookbooks that taught me how to cook in the first place. My mom and my grandma were excellent cooks. They really did the heavy lifting here. But I think this is probably what got me the most interested. I have 2 copies of this. I think I've mentioned this before. So this one is the original copy that I grew up with. It's got some heavy wear and tear on it. I mean, look at that binding right there. Folds and tears. This was a very well-loved cookbook. I mean, you gotta see, look at these marks. Like, that's definitely some vintage food right there. But you know that when you see pages like that in a cookbook, you kind of know that you've gotten a good one. I like to start with the cover. We've got these little guys here, and I was obsessed with these. They appear inside the book as well. I mean, look at this poor, sad little guy. I wanted to make these so badly. At one point, my mom said, hey, let's make these. So open up the cookbook, find out what they are. These are called No Crust Wide-Eyed Pizzas. I have to say the name was like a little bit of a disappointment. They don't look like pizzas to me at all. And I've seen other cookbooks with recipes like this where it's kind of like a meat patty with cheese and stuff on top, and they're like, it's a pizza. And I'm here to tell you, it's not a pizza. Anyway, though, you're making a meat patty with some breadcrumbs, some seasonings, a little bit of tomato sauce, and then you kind of decorate them with faces. So you melt a little cheese, you put some olives and some pimentos, and it must have been tasty because, and I know this is my mom's handwriting. Hi, Mom. Because my mom, if you can see it, it's in pencil. It says good. And we used to do this with some of our well-used cookbooks, is we would make notes in the book if a recipe was good or bad. I think I have a recipe for some sort of like low-calorie oatmeal cookies that we made from the Betty Crocker cookie book, and I'm pretty sure my mom's original copy says yuck in it. They were bad. We'll cover that book another time. So the book itself, it opens with lots and lots of diagrams of different utensils. There's a little kitchen quiz in here, and there's a list of terms and it explains what they are. So you kind of fill in the blank with this. It's got the little answer key upside down right here. I think I'd pass. I don't know. Illustrations on how to measure. I think honestly, like, this cookbook is for children, but it's got a lot of helpful stuff in it for just about anyone who's learning how to cook at any age. We have to get into some of the illustrations and photographs in this book. Amazing. Each chapter, it opens with a really cool photograph. This is the first one. It might be my favorite. I'm not sure. Look at that. Stuff to snack on. Like, I wanted all of this, even though these little things right here, the red stuff, it's called tomato mush. I'm sorry, I don't know that kids are going to want that. I mean, I sure didn't. I'm not like a super huge fan of cold vegetable juice or cold tomato juice. You know, if I warmed it up, maybe it would be like tomato soup, but this is definitely cold tomato juice with some carrot, and of course there's celery in it. Like, I would never in a million years would I have had this as a kid. Different desserts. I think those are like peach melba. Oh, I'm sorry. They are called peach double deckers, and they look great. I love this one too. Parties and presents. It has the most adorable A-frame gingerbread cottage. I love A-frame houses, and oh, this is so cute. So some of the other recipes in here that I remember reading about, some of them I made, some of them I didn't. This one is actually very similar to a recipe I made for another video. Bumpy meatballs. Those are basically porcupine meatballs. So this one kind of reminds me of the grape surprise salad I made. This one's called the Friendly Dog Salad, and I think we know what friendly dog this is probably supposed to look like. Polka dot pizzas. So this is a polka dot pizza. I mean, it's really just a pizza with hot dogs on top, which I've never really thought of making, but for some reason, this photo, I tell you, like, it's all caramelized and brown. It looks amazing to me. Still, hold on to your hat. Pink meringue pie. And not only do I love this pie, I mean, you have to look closer at these oven mitts. I want these. I need these oven mitts. If you're watching this video in real time, you know that it is spooky season, and I happen to find the perfect recipe for Halloween in this book. Today, I'm going to be preparing ghost cake with flaming eyes. And get ready for this photo. You guys, I'm so excited about this cake. I never made this cake growing up. Perfect timing. It's Halloween. We got a spooky cake. My brother and sister-in-law are coming over tonight for dinner. We're gonna have this for dessert and I'm super excited about it. Let's get started. In order to make your ghost cake with flaming eyes, you are going to need 1 package of yellow cake mix with pudding. Betty Crocker, of course. In the interest of saving time, I did end up baking this and cooling it ahead of time. You just bake it according to package directions in a 9x13 pan. You're also going to need 2 sugar cubes, a teaspoon of lemon extract, and some black licorice string, which I couldn't find. What I ended up getting is some pull and peel. So my ghost is just going to be wearing lipstick this season. The last ingredient, a package of fluffy white frosting mix. I have run into this before. I cannot find these frosting mixes in store. I did find some online, but it was something like I would have to purchase 12 boxes for $50. I didn't really want to do that. Great deal, but I'm not going to use 12 packages of fluffy white frosting mix. I did end up finding on the Betty Crocker website a recipe for fluffy white frosting. It is an egg white based icing. A little bit nervous about them. It should be fine, but there's also going to be some boiling sugar that I have to stream into them. So here's what you're going to need to make fluffy white frosting. You're going to need 2 egg whites at room temperature. You'll need 1/2 cup of white sugar. You will need 1/4 cup of light corn syrup, 2 tablespoons of water, and then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. One thing I forgot to mention, when you're making your cake, set aside the eggshells. You are going to need them to decorate the cake. I'm debating whether or not I should use my stand mixer or my hand mixer. I think there's like 10 minutes of beating that has to go into this, which makes me lean towards stand mixer. Okay. Luckily, it's not too far away. I know exactly what I'm doing. In medium bowl, beat egg whites with an electric mixer on high speed until stiff peaks form. I didn't leave these out for a full 30 minutes, and I hope that's okay. They're not like freezing cold. I turned my back for like 1 second, and this is what happened. Holy cow. I don't make a lot of meringues, can you tell? It said to beat them for 10 minutes, but I guess that was, you know, you're using a hand mixer. I think this is like almost where it needs to be. I hope I didn't like overdo it. Is this right? If this doesn't work for whatever reason, I do have a little bit of a backup plan. So it says in 1 quart saucepan, stir sugar, corn syrup, and water until well mixed. Cover and heat to a rolling boil over medium heat. We're gonna do sugar, the water, then the corn syrup. I oiled this measuring cup, so hopefully this will come out like pretty easily. Kind of, oh my. All right, is this an indication of how this is gonna go? Lost my grip on reality and this measuring cup. All right, I've stirred that to, Yes, I've stirred it together. That's not a word. And heat it to a rolling boil. Once it starts to boil, I'm supposed to uncover it, let it cook for 4 to 8 minutes without stirring, and then I have to monitor the temperature as well. It has to hit 242 degrees. It is boiling. I have set a timer, and I'm gonna check the temperature. It's already at 229. Let me reread those instructions. So I'm unclear as to whether it like hits 242, then I cook it for 4 to 8 minutes, or I'm supposed to cook it for 4 to 8 minutes until it hits 240. I don't know. We're gonna go with it, and this is an adventure for all of us. We're gonna just like take it down a bit because it's at like 250. I can see why they wanted a kid to use this fluffy white icing mix rather than trying to make this frosting from scratch. I'm a grown up and I'm not confident in my ability to make this. Betty, I hope this works. I've turned it all the way down and it is way above temperature, like way above what it's supposed to be. I'm gonna turn it off. Going to see if I let it cool down to 242, if that helps. And then I'm gonna try to make this icing. This is not gonna work. I am not feeling very hopeful right now. I just wanted a festive ghost cake. You know what? Let's go. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna protect my hands because on top of everything else, I do not wanna get burned by this stuff. What I'm supposed to do next is beat this on medium and add this in a slow stream. And once all of it's added, I beat it for 10 minutes on high. I don't like the look of this. I think this is bad. I think this is very bad. Oh no. That was wrong. That did not work. Oh no. Here's where I think I went wrong. Like it kind of worked, but not completely. I think that I had the sugar too hot when I poured it in. You can see where it formed like crystallized little strands everywhere, like on the beater, on the bowl. It looks like it's kind of getting there, but there's no way that these crystals are gonna be broken up at all. I'm gonna taste it. Okay, it's like a marshmallow icing. I'm tempted to use it. Is there enough there? I don't think that there's enough there for an entire ghost. Here's what we're gonna do. Wendy over at Simply Wendy has this amazing whipped cream cheese, like whipped cream icing that she made for a cookies and cream cake. I made that icing for a different cake and it was phenomenal. I think I'm gonna try to make that. Wendy's icing, I know, I've tested, it works, it's delicious. You should make it for something, and I will link that recipe down below. Let's get this out of the way. Let me just say that this is a very good reason to have 2 bowls for your stand mixer. I have the metal bowl that it came with, and then I have the glass bowl that I just covered in molten sugar. That's gonna be fun to clean up. So I'm not gonna list the individual amounts of ingredients for this icing. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just link it down below. I promise you this recipe is amazing. Thank you, Wendy, for saving my bacon. First, you add your cream cheese to the bowl, and then you just beat it a little bit until it is creamy. I did soften this for a little bit in the microwave. You don't want to go too crazy because you don't want it to melt. So next you're going to add your powdered sugar and your vanilla. And then you're supposed to beat this on medium speed for about 2 minutes until the sugar and the cream cheese are all combined. Already this looks so much better than the other one. I'm supposed to turn the mixer back on low, and then I'm gonna stream in my heavy cream. So now that I have all the heavy cream in there, I'm supposed to turn this up to high speed for 1 to 2 minutes until stiff peaks form. Looking good. Okay, I'm feeling much better now. Wendy, I owe you one. This is looking so beautiful. It took so much less time than that other icing. It's gonna work so great for this. I don't know why I just didn't do this in the first place. Fluffy white icing is on the bad list. This, however, I'm feeling good about it. I think Betty Crocker was playing a trick on me for Halloween. This is so beautiful. I know it tastes good. Like, it looks amazing. It's fluffy. Like, why didn't I just do this in the first place? Here's the finished product. It's like not heavy. There's not, I mean, there was only 3/4 of a cup of confectioner's sugar in this. So it's not like heavy or grainy or anything. It's so light and it's like not overly sweet. So you've got that like nice mix. It's like a very somehow light, but still rich icing with like the whipped cream and the cream cheese. So I can't say enough good things about this. Please, please go visit Simply Wendy. She has a great channel. She's an amazing baker. Thank you again, Wendy. So with the icing in hand, I think it's time for me to switch over to cake decorating mode. After the cake is cool, measure across one short edge of the cake and mark the center with a wooden pick. We marked the center, measure 4 inches down each long edge and mark with picks. So 4 inches down is right there. I was looking up other ghost cakes on YouTube and such. All of the ghost cakes were so elaborate compared to this one, and I'm struggling so much with it. Cut the cake between the center wooden pick and the side picks in a curve. And we may have a lopsided ghost. I mean, let's be honest here. It's not gonna be like bakery quality work, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm going for fun. Slide the cut corners down the sides to about the center of the cake. Sliding the cut corners down. My ghost is looking like Mothman or like a bat. This kind of looks like a bat. Turn the corners so the cut sides are up. Corners like that, or like, oh my gosh. Okay, I get it. That makes sense because it's kind of like, hey, make the arms look as if they're reaching for you. Spooky. Okay, I get it now. I had to read that a few times, but I get it, and it's fun, and it's coming for ya. Frost the cake with the spatula. So I have my little offset spatula. Hot tip, I did notice the other day when I was at Dollar Tree that they now have offset spatulas like this. I can't attest to the quality. If you want to give it a try, yeah, you might want to see if your store has them too. They had other cake decorating items as well. I was really surprised. This might be a very sad ghost. As long as it tastes good, that's what matters, right? Kind of nervous about these little arms. Little frosting paws. I'm not winning prizes for this. The arms are like especially fiddly. I would suggest that if you are a kid and you want to make this, get some adult supervision, but just not this one. Like, don't get this adult to supervise you because it's not going to go very well. Okay, you know what? It's mostly covered. Okay. Oh, I completely missed. I completely missed a little bit of this arm. Did you see that? Okay, we're leaving it. You're gonna see it from this way. So, you know, I think we're kind of there, if you can see it. But now we're gonna do the fun part, and that is the eyes and the mouth. I was definitely snacking on these a little bit to get me through that horrible ordeal that was that other icing that I made. I think I'm gonna do like a little O. Yeah, okay, this is cute, this is cute. So out of these eggshells, I have to choose the best ones. Oh my gosh, yes! This is the best part, this is the best part. Oh my gosh. So what you do next is you take 2 sugar cubes, 1 for each eye, you drop them in the eggshells, like this. So there's 2, there's 1 in each. Grab your lemon extract, and it says like a teaspoon. I'm not even gonna measure this because it's not for flavor at all. You're gonna put a little bit on each sugar cube. Whoops. I might have gotten some on the cake. There's just gonna be a little bit of a lemony flavor on that piece. Here is the really fun part, and I hope this works. You're gonna light these on fire. That's where the flaming eyes come in. Okay, yes, it is on fire. I should have done this at night because I don't think you can see it, but you can smell that burning eggshell. I'm gonna replace that one. We did it, kind of. Oh no. I'll just let that go for now. So that's it. That's my ghost with flaming eyes. I can kind of see why maybe I didn't make this when I was a kid. Oh boy, those do not smell good. Okay, yep, that effect does not last long because it does start to singe. Right now this ghost doesn't have any eyes, but you saw hopefully what the effect was supposed to be. Well, thank you so much for coming with me on this journey. This one was a lot more than I expected. But you know what? It was fun. I'm really glad I finally got to make this cake. Have you ever made a cake like this? Have you ever used this effect on any other type of cake? I would love to hear about that. Please tell me all your stories down below. If you like this video, you might like my other videos and you might consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to see what else I'm up to, my Instagram handle is _cookingthebooks_. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!